Hi, welcome to this AQA A-Level Business revision video, focusing on 3.3.4, making marketing decisions. We're going to be making a start looking at the marketing mix and the 7 Ps. So this will probably be one of many videos in that section. Just a reminder that my teaching here is separate to any of my teaching and consultation roles in any and all academies up and down the country. My name's Mr. Giles. Let's get down to business. So we're going to try and keep this video somewhat brief, but this is an important message you need to know about the marketing mix. So if you're not sure, the marketing mix is represented by the 7 Ps. Now, if you've done any form of GCSE business, you might be familiar with the 4 Ps. These 4 here specifically: product, price, place, and promotion. The 7 Ps can often be referred to as the extended marketing mix because it has 7 Ps where we add on people, process, and physical environment. That's all well and good, and we will break down each and every P in the 7 Ps, although I'm going to do one video for these 3 because they're not that intricate. However, the thing that people often struggle with is the concept of this being a marketing plan. What is the purpose of the marketing mix? Because that's often asked as a question. I've put over here that the marketing mix is a working and interdependent plan to try and gain new customers, essentially. Okay. Now, the bit where it's a working plan is very important because, not to delve into too deeply here, but if we just look at price, for example, I think we can all think of an example of a product where the price has changed over time. Let's look at the iPhone, for example. It often goes down in price the longer it's about. However, the minute that the price of that product changes, the other parts of the marketing mix have to change along with it. So for example, if you start charging less for an iPhone, let's go with the iPhone, whatever one we're up to now, 16. If you start charging less for the iPhone 16, you might then tell your people, i.e. your employees, to not really try and sell that one, or go the other way and try and sell it off real quick because you're trying to get rid of some units. So every time you change one element of the marketing mix, it has a knock-on effect to the other parts of the marketing mix. And that's why it is interdependent. Okay. Now, the marketing mix also needs to be considered around the external environment. And this is where we look at the quote unquote influences on the marketing mix. You don't just do your segmentation, targeting, and positioning, as mentioned in the previous video. I'll link it down below. And then crack on, because if you want to do, say, a significant promotion campaign, you want to do lots of, say, TV advertising, well, one of the major influences on that is, do you have the budget? So money in the business will have a key influence on the marketing mix. The external environment will have a key influence on the marketing mix. To give you an example of the external environment, if we look at, say, the S, the social of Pestle, where are people actually consuming their content now? Because I'm going to show my age a little bit here, folks, but when I was a kid, we didn't have social media. We had magazines and TVs and billboards. Those things still exist now, but I would say that the money being spent on them is significantly less than, say, the money being spent on the social media platforms. So the main thing you want to consider before we really get into the nuts and bolts of this is, why are we choosing the plan we are choosing, i.e. why have we chosen the decisions we've made? How do they have a knock-on effect with each other? And once you know the 7, you'll see how that works. And then what is the key influences of that choice? Because in, say, for example, paper 2 and paper 3 in year 13, they tell you that there's going to be a change in the marketing plan, which they love doing. You then need to consider why they're changing it and whether that change is in relation to the influences of things going on outside the business, things going on inside the business. And if they don't marry up, if they don't match, that gives you a lovely evaluation point in how to explain, actually, I don't think this is a good idea because, you know, the influence is this, they're choosing that, and those two things don't go together. There's some secret sauce for you. I'm going to leave this video at that. It's a pretty short one, but I want to start getting into the nuts and bolts of the actual marketing mix. So join me in the next one where we're going to break down product, look at things like the Boston Matrix and the product lifecycle. If you have any questions, you put me in the comments down below, and I'll see you in a minute in the next one.